Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Klambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopasantaye Yasyat Viragavadradhya Parishadhya Parasvatam Vignam Vignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasriye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Parasarya Vachaha Sarojam Amalam Geetat Gandhotkatham Nana Kyana Kakesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shat Padairaharaha Pipiyamanam Muda Bhujat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsinaha Sreyase. With Swami's grace, we came up to 39 yesterday. Sraddhavan labhate jnanam tat paraha samyatendriyaha jnanam labdva param shantim achirena adhigacchati. Right? And now, moving on to the 39, understanding that there is nothing superior to this jnanam, to this wisdom, to this knowledge, and managing his senses well by controlling desire. He who strives with unshakable faith, determination, enduring enthusiasm, and everlasting commitment attains this wisdom. Having attained it, he at once becomes eternally peaceful. Samyatendriyaha, the one who controls the senses. And Swami taught us earlier, it is one thing to tell the eye, don't look at something that is not good, or ear, don't hear something that is not pleasant. That is one way of controlling it, but after pulling the sense organs away from the sense objects, if the mind continues to think about the sense object, even though the eye is not seeing it, but the mind is thinking about it, that is not sense control. And Mityacharaha is the word that Bhagavan uses, if you recall, in Sankhya Yoga, that is hypocrite. So the way to do Samyata Indriyaha, to really do the control of the senses, senses is to start controlling one's desire. Okay. Now moving on to number 40. Now what happens if you don't have Shraddha? Right? If you have Shraddha, you attain Param Shantim, Achirena Adhigacchati, you attain that immediately. But suppose if you don't have Shraddha, what happens? If you have doubts and all that, that's what Bhagavan talks about in this slokam. The unwise person without faith, determination, enthusiasm or commitment, and vacillating with doubts simply perishes. A person who is infirm and vacillating with doubts really can never be peaceful in this or any other world. Even for our normal daily life, if we keep on having doubt. Next one, number 40. Let us see. Ajnascha asraddhanascha samsayatma vinasyati. Nayam lokosti na paro na sukam samsayatmanaha. Ajnascha asraddhanascha samsayatma vinasyati. Nayam lokosti na paro na sukam samsayatmanaha. The words padangal are Ajnaha cha asraddhanaha cha samsayatma vinasyati na ayam lokaha asti na paraha na sukham samsayatmanaha. Ajnaha cha, one who does not have this knowledge. Now, it looks like it's a catch-22, but it is not. What Bhagavan is really talking about is not the acquisition or the knowledge of becoming aware of the Parabrahman, but the desire to touch, the embrace the indweller. That's what this jnanam here means. Ajnaha cha, one who is not interested or inclined towards embracing the indweller, to expand his heart, to become more loving. Asraddhadhanas cha, without sraddhai. Now, yesterday we discussed Shraddha, one single word denotes many things, right? And like commitment, like enthusiasm, perseverance, faith, determination, all those things are included in the word Shraddha. Now, asraddhadhanaha, one who does not have Shraddha. Samsayatma, one who is full of doubts, always wondering, will this happen, will that happen? Even when we talk about embracing the indweller, how is it possible, it is so difficult, is it really such a thing? All the doubts that come in. But samsayatma, this kind of a person, what happens to him? He is vinasyati, he perishes. Perishes means what? We're not talking of the physical body dying, that's going to happen anyway. But there is really nothing for him, there is no growth, he basically withers away, nothing is achieved, even though he may achieve many things worldly wise and all that, really nothing is done. And spiritually, in terms of moving towards the lotus feet, embracing the indweller, there is zero result. So that's what vinasyati means. So he basically perishes. Samsayatmanaha, one who's always doubtful. Ayam lokaha, this world, nasti, na asti, this world is not there. What does it mean? A person who is doubtful all the time cannot achieve anything in this world either, cannot enjoy anything in this world either, cannot be peaceful. In this world, ayam lokaha, na asti, na paraha, the other worlds are also not available to him. Na sa, na cha sukham. He does not have sukham also, does not have peace of mind, does not have happiness. Because samsayatma, the samsaya, the doubt is like a cancer that robs you of not only of your happiness in this and other worlds, but also takes you away from all the things that you are destined to accomplish. So samsayatma, so exactly opposite of 39. Ajyascha suddhadhanascha samsayatma vinasyati nayam lokosti na paraha na sukham samsayatmanaha. Ajyascha asraddhadhanascha samsayatma vinasyati nayam lokosti na paraha na sukham samsayatmanaha. Slokam number 41. Overall meaning of 41 is, he who has no attachment to action or results, who has destroyed all his doubts with this jnanam, this wisdom, and who has embraced the indweller, his actions do not bind him at all, my dear Dhananjaya. Very important. We were talking about the myths. Mr. Janakir yesterday or day before sent me a note, and how the karmas vanish, disappear and dissolve, get vaporized, right? That again comes in this slokam. It has been, Swami has talked about it in several slokams that we have covered, and here is another one, okay? So, he who has no attachment to actual results, who has destroyed all his doubts with this knowledge, with this jnanam, and who has embraced the indweller, his actions do not bind him at all, my dear Dhananjaya. Now, destroying your doubts with this knowledge does not mean you obtain the knowledge, but the very desire, the process of yoga, right, begins to start the desire to embrace the indweller, the process of embracing the indweller, and finally, in the culmination, even the very act of starting to embrace the indweller automatically removes all doubts. Okay, as we saw earlier in Sankhya Yoga, even the slightest effort in this path is not wasted, nor does it produce contrary results. It's a beautiful thing in this journey. Number 41. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana chinna samsayam atmavantam na karmani nibadhanti Dhananjaya. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana chinna samsayam atmavantam na karmani nibadhanti Dhananjaya. yoga sanyasta karmanam. Okay, yoga sanyasta karmanam. Jnana samchinna samsayam. Atmavantam na karmani nibadhanti Dhananjaya. And Dhananjaya, one who deserves wealth, one who has conquered wealth. Conquered wealth means not one who's acquired wealth. You acquire wealth by giving up the desire for wealth. That is what Dhananjaya actually means. Yoga sanyasta karmanam. Then one who has this yogam that we are talking about, again, from where we are today, okay, we can take it as the desire and the inclination and the impetus to touch the indweller, to embrace the indweller, right? To look to him. Even that very process of beginning that is also called yogam. So, through that process you begin, and ultimately what happens is when become one with the indweller, ultimately, at that point, all the actions are destroyed. That means they vaporize. Sanyasta karmana means all the karmas, all the actions, they dissolve. They no longer exist through this yoga. Jnana sanchinna samsayam. Samsayam is doubt. And jnana means through knowledge. What knowledge? The desire, when you touch the indweller, automatically something happens to you. Okay, that awareness, that beginning of that knowledge is what he's talking of. With that knowledge, samsayam chinnaha, you're destroying it, like cuts it away, cuts it asunder. Okay, so jnana sanchinna samsayam, atmavantam, one who is supremely satisfied and contented and happy in the company of his own self, the indweller, Atmavantam. For this person, karmani, actions, na nibadhanti, they do not bind. Okay? Yoga sanyasta karmanam Jnana samchinna samsayam Atmavantam na karmani Nibadhanti Dhananjaya. Slokam number 42. Overall meaning: therefore, with the sword of this knowledge, wisdom, jnanam, cut the doubt about the indweller that has arisen out of ignorance and established in your mind. Get up and establish yourself firmly in this practice, Bharata. Now, it's very interesting because we know there is something that is inside us. I use the word indweller, Atma, whatever you want to call it, compassionate heart. All words apply to it, but still it is beyond the words that we utter, right? So that entity that is there, we know very much it is there, but there is something in us that prevents us from going to it, that kind of takes, even though we want to do it, we don't do it. We are not strong enough. There's always some doubt in our own ability, the doubt in its existence sometimes, right? So many things are there. Those are the doubts that Bhagavan is talking about, okay? Understand, go to it. With that, the very knowledge that's obtained by taking that very first step, with that itself will kill or will destroy, will remove and eliminate all the doubts. And then, once you do that, removing all the doubts, next step he says is that this doubt is born out of ignorance, he says. And not only is it born out of ignorance, after coming out of ignorance, after taking birth out of ignorance, it is now firmly established in your mind. You feel that you cannot do it, right? That is what Bhagavan is talking about, right? So, to remove that, just by taking the very first step, and then establish yourself in this practice. Go towards the indweller. Go touch it. Go embrace it. Come on, Bharata, get up and do it. That's what he's saying. Tasmat Ajnana Sambhutam Hrutastham Jnanasinatmanah Chitvainam Samsayam Yogam Atishtha Uttishta Bharata Tasmat Ajnana Sambhutam Hrutastham Jnanasinatmanah Chitvainam Samsayam Yogam Atishtha Uttishta Bharata. Okay, so the words padangal are Tasmat Ajnana Sambhutam Hrutastham Jnana, there is a word Yenam, okay, that comes in the next line. Okay, 1 minute, Chitvainam, okay. Hrutastham Jnanasina Atmanaha Jnanasina Atmanaha Chitvainam. Chitvainam is like Chitva. Chitva is to kill, to like the way we saw even earlier slokam. Chitva Yenam Samsayam Yogam Atishta Uttishta Bharata. Tasmat, therefore, so he has explained it, therefore, Ajnana Sambhutam, being born out of ignorance. Hrutastham, established firmly in your mind. What is it that is talking about? Enam, this, Atmanaha, about this indweller, about your own, the fact that you are selfless love that is present within you, about this, samsayam, the doubt that has come out of ignorance, jnanasina, through the sword of jnanam. Again, here the jnanam is not one of culmination. It's a very first step of going towards the indweller. The desire to do this even, the very sincere desire to go be with my own self, the company of my own, that simple desire itself will take care of all the subsequent actions, okay? With that jnanam, chitva, cut it asunder, remove it. After doing that, yogam. What is this? Here the yogam means what? In the process and the journey and the pathway of embracing the indweller. That yogam. Atishtha. With firmly, okay, firmly, unshakably, okay, establish yourself in that, start practicing that, get on the pathway of embracing the indweller. Come on, and do it firmly and unshakably. Doing that, come on, Bharata, Uttishta, get up and do it. That is what he is saying. Bharata, of course, refers to Arjuna, and Bharata refers to anybody really, Bharati, anybody who's attracted to, who's devoted to. Bha is nothing but effulgence, and effulgence is the same Bha that we pray to in Gayatri Mantram, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, we say that, right? That Bha, that's an effulgence, which is what Bhagavan is, right? One form of worshipping Bhagavan is to that effulgence. And Rati means one who is attached to that, basically attached to the indweller, right? So that is what Bharata means. Here, of course, it means one who has come in the lineage of Bharata. Sambhutam Hrutastham Jnanasina Atmanaha Chitvainam Samsayam Yogam Atishtha Uttishta Bharata. Tasmat Ajnana Sambhutam Hrutastham Jnanasinatmanaha Chitvainam Samsayam Yogam Atishthottishta Bharata. Okay. Iti Sri Mutt Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Sastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga Nama Chaturthodhyayaha. I think you understand the Sanskrit very clearly now. Thus ends the 4th chapter called Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga, embracing divinity through wisdom and sacrifice in action, as explained in the benevolent dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna in the Upanishad called the Bhagavad Gita, which is truly a Brahma Vidya and a Yoga Sastra. So it's a very, very powerful how Bhagavan takes it. First in Sankhya Yoga, he gives a very powerful as we discussed earlier, it's not, you don't have to go through all the 700 slokas, but because he's so compassionate, he explains each point in considerable detail. And Sankhya Yoga itself covers everything. Then later on he takes karma and explains what it is. And then he also says how you should do it. Then he further describes it by saying, you should really develop the knowledge, the wisdom, the inclination to do it the right way. That is what Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga has. Next one he's going to talk about how to do it how do you actually do the yajna. How do you really, that's what he's going to come in slowly, and then after that he's going to get into, for you to do that, then it's really related to the mind. So how do you pacify the mind, and how do you bring it focused on one point so that you can think about the indweller, and then therefore you can offer it to him, and therefore you can do your actions offering it to him. Like, it's going backward. Beautifully he builds it step by step, and then we'll enjoy it with his grace as we move on, okay? And then finally again, as we saw early on, right in the beginning, he summarizes the whole thing in those two slokams, Manmana Bhava and Sarvadharman Parityaja at the end, okay? Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om